Welcome to NTN Nightly. I am Janelle Norville. This edition's top stories. Creole Heritage Month 2021 to lift the St. Lucian spirit amid COVID crisis. St. Lucia continues to strengthen cultural ties with Taiwan. And scores of grade 6 students from the south of the island received tablets. St. Lucia's traditions, Creole language and heritage is coming into sharp focus for celebration as the month of October begins. The launch of Creole Heritage Month 2021 on Friday 1st October saw presenting agencies, Events Company of St. Lucia, the Monsignor Patrick Anthony Folk Research Center and the Cultural Development Foundation announcing the program for the month-long celebration for Moi Heritage Creole. Melcher Henry is the acting executive director of the Folk Research Center. He provided insight into the calendar of activities and the theme for this year's virtual celebrations.
We have quite a number of programs that I would like to go through, but I want to reflect a little bit on the theme, Kilte c'est Jérusalem, and also it goes on to say, Kilte sa pensée, aider penser pays nous. We can look at it in a literal sense by examining the fact that we have these herbal remedies, and we will come to that in a while. These herbal remedies that we need to explore further, find out how best we can use them in our sustenance and so on. And at the same time, there's another interpretation of Kilte Sajiri Penu is to look at it as a re-examination of ourselves, all right, to establish the values by which we should live our lives.
Executive Director of the Cultural Development Foundation highlighted the entity's involvement in Moi Heritage Creole.
This year, for the CDF, it's no different from last year. Amidst all of the pandemic and everything, we are committed to bringing our culture to St. Lucians. We are once again bringing you the Cultural Icon series, as well as the Margaret Festival that traditionally falls in October 17th. Our Icon series is a series, a platform that celebrates the life and work of St. Lucians who have contributed at least a 25-year body of work, who have presented a 25-year body of work. It's a platform that seeks to highlight the excellence in the arts as part of our cultural and historical footprint in the arts and the contributions made by our people.
The Cultural Icon series this year will revisit and celebrate the work of past icons. St. Lucia continues to strengthen ties with the government and people of Taiwan on a cultural level. A number of St. Lucians are again participating in the annual lantern competition in commemoration of Taiwan's National Day, celebrated on the 10th of October. More in this report.
The Cultural Development Foundation, in collaboration with the Embassy of the Republic of China, Taiwan, hosts the second annual Best of the Best Lantern competition in commemoration of Taiwan's National Day celebrations. The competition is being held under the theme Taiwan, St. Lucia Strong. In the preliminary round of the competition, 17 entries lit the halls of the National Cultural Center in hopes of advancing to the top 10. The participants spared no effort in presenting portrayals of cultural significance to the two countries and Taiwan's diplomatic ties to St. Lucian agriculture, education, and technology. Ramona Henry Wynn is the Executive Director of the Cultural Development Foundation, CDF.
Participants are normally given a stipend to create because, as you well understand, a lot of them are unemployed at the moment because there aren't that many activities happening. And that is the incentive that we offer them to be able to create those lanterns. And the lanterns, irrespective of the themes, what they highlight is the cooperation between St. Lucia and the Republic of Taiwan, all of the gifts that they have given to us. So it's the CDF's way of saying thank you through the artists and their creativity to the people of the Republic of Taiwan.
The competition serves as a form of creative reprieve to the participants from the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. The participants in this year's competition conveyed their gratitude to the organizers for the opportunity to contribute to the event.
It's been a tough time for artists in St. Lucia and for the arts on a whole. So participating in this lantern competition is not something that I normally would do. This is my first time. But I needed for St. Lucians to realize that we are alive and well. And I was excited to just do something creative, do something different, and also show the appreciation that the people of St. Lucia have for Taiwan, because Taiwan has done a lot for this country.
Participating in the lantern competition for me was a wonderful experience. As a costume builder who never took part in a lantern competition ever, so this is my first ever lantern. Of course, COVID tends to bring out the best in us. Of course, as we all artists try to defy all the challenges for COVID, and of course we had some time because things are not too bright on our side, so it was an opportunity for me to express my creativity and supporting the arts and cultures as much as I can.
They wanted something for different, so I did a big fish to represent Taiwan and a turtle to represent St. Lucia, and I'm hoping that the best 10 makes it today, and then it goes down to the last 3 or 4.
One lantern will be chosen as an exhibit for the 2022 Lantern Festival in Taiwan. His Excellency Peter Chen, Ambassador of Taiwan to St. Lucia, expressed his elation with this year's entries and the growth of the competition.
I'm really amazed by the magnificent lantern this year. Although last year already fascinated, but I think this year all the artists spend more time and more bring out more thought or better idea to make this lantern. And I'm glad that I'm not a judge because that will give me a hard time.
The winners of the lantern competition will be awarded $1,500, $1,000, $700 to the first, second, and third place, respectively. $500 will also be awarded to the participant of the most innovative lantern. From the Government Information Service, Humadi Mack reporting.
Scores of grade 6 students from the south of the island received tablets to facilitate online learning as the distributed learning approach continues amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. Daniel Dubois reports.
September 2021 marks the second year of massive adjustment and change to teaching and learning in the education system due to the ongoing pandemic. These changes brought with it many challenges, and access to devices for all students of all ages continue to be a sore point for education officials. However, one district is pleased to receive a generous donation of tablets for grade 6 students to enjoy and participate in online learning with ease.
This morning I am very elated as to what is happening here. We have Invest St. Lucia who have come to our rescue. Now we are online, school is online virtually, and we have quite a number of students who are unable to go online because they do not have a device. So Invest St. Lucia has come to our rescue by donating 10 devices to 5 schools. 50 devices will be donated to the students of District 5. These students are from the Tiroche Combined School, the Monripo Combined School, the Larisus Combined School, the Richford Combined School, and the Oleo Combined School.
The district officer went on to say that these devices help with making learning comfortable for students. The lack of access to devices can pose to be very difficult and demotivating for students, especially the younger ones.
This will make our students more comfortable. In a home, there's only one device, and the parent who owns that device goes to school. So you can well imagine what happens when the parent leaves with that device. The children or the students have nothing to do and are unable to go online to be taught virtually.
Over the last year, the Ministry of Education has pursued several undertakings to support the distributed online learning approach. Some of these include improving internet access at the school plant and providing MiFi devices to households to allow students to be connected and join the virtual classroom. Cumulatively, thousands of e-books, laptops, and tablets have been distributed to schools through the Department of Education island-wide. Mrs. St. Paul made a special appeal to corporate St. Lucia to reach out and support the learning of children by assisting with the shortfall of access to devices.
I am very grateful that Invest St. Lucia has seen the need to give back to the communities, to give back to students, to give to education, to push education forward. I am asking, I am praying, I am hoping that other entities will see the need to support education in St. Lucia, especially now that we are virtual. So I'm asking and I'm begging, I'm pleading with our corporate citizens to please come forward and assist the children of St. Lucia. The children are our future, and without a future, we have no country.
Instruction and learning commenced for all educational and training institutions on Monday, 13 September 2021, utilizing the distributed learning approach. Some 4,000 laptops are presently being procured by government, and these devices will be distributed to Form 1 and Form 2 students. From the Communications Unit of the Ministry of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training, I am Daniel Dubois, reporting.
Still with education, the Early Childhood Services Unit of the Ministry of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training wishes to inform parents and guardians of children who have been accepted for admission into the Moshi, Jacmel, Mico, and Grozile government-operated Early Childhood Development Centers that these centers will not open as planned on Tuesday, October 5, 2021. The new dates for the reopening of the 4 government-operated centers will be communicated in the coming weeks. The Ministry of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training, through the Early Childhood Services Unit, sincerely apologizes for any inconvenience caused. The St. Lucia Electricity Services Limited, Lucilec, continues to fulfill its corporate responsibility, particularly as the island faces the impact of COVID-19. A donation by Lucilec has vastly enhanced the ability of the St. Jude Hospital to provide oxygen to patients. More from GIS's Ross Daniel.
St. Lucia Electricity Services Limited, Lucilec, has donated nearly $76,000 to the St. Jude Hospital in support of the hospital's efforts to power its oxygen generating plant. Lucilec is covering the cost of the electricity infrastructure to extend the power supply to the plant. The St. Jude Hospital currently receives its oxygen supply through an external agency. That avenue is fraught with issues that include regularity and cost. St. Jude Hospital CEO Diana Henry Ernest says the hospital invested in the plant as part of its overall strategy to fight COVID-19.
When the pandemic started, we realized that most probably we might have some issues with oxygen. So we decided to find a way to generate our own oxygen. So this is why we ventured in buying a plant. So we will not have a need for oxygen, because at St. Jude Hospital right now, what we do is buy oxygen. If we are generating our own, we will not have to wait for supply. We'll always have a continuous supply. COVID clients, they are dependent on oxygen and at a high concentration again. So us having our own plant, I don't think we'll have the need to import or even buy from anybody else.
We are so grateful that Lucilec came to our help. A contribution of $76,000 definitely will go a long way for St. Jude Hospital. COVID has actually put a dent in our pocket. Our cash flow is reduced. It is reduced tremendously. So Lucilec coming on board and helping us with that gift, with that donation, it's definitely going to give us the opportunity to have continuous oxygen for our clients. So I must say it's a great gift. It's a gift that will allow us to share with other persons like the other hospitals in St. Lucia because of the availability of oxygen that it will allow us to have.
Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belmar George agrees that a reliable and cost-effective oxygen supply is of critical importance in the national fight against COVID-19 and other respiratory ailments.
They've also had discussions with the ministry to provide support of oxygen to our other public health facilities in the south. So it will not only support the patient care in the south at the hospital, but also assist us with our community respiratory clinics and also our regular clinics.
The CMO describes the size and impact of the Lucilec donation as significant. She says establishing the oxygen plant at St. Jude will ensure and support patient care in the south of the island.
With COVID-19, it has become a lot worse, the need for oxygen on island. So it is also reassuring for us having that capacity in the south of the island as well. It would also provide support wherever else is needed for care with oxygen. Now, even without COVID, we have increasing numbers of patients with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease as a result of smoking. So we get a lot of those admissions and persons who may suffer heart attacks or strokes because of the burden of chronic disease that we see here on island. So a regular sustainable supply of oxygen is extremely important for our health facilities, both the hospital and the others within the communities, and also for our asthmatics as well.
Lucilec Managing Director Trevor Louisi says the necessity of the St. Jude Hospital request is what spurred the company to act. St. Jude Hospital is also partnering with Invest St. Lucia on the establishment of its oxygen generating plant. The facility is located at the Vieux-Fort Free Zone. From the Government Information Service, Ross Daniel reporting.
This is NTN Nightly. Primus Hutchinson is up next. Stay with us.
Breast milk is the gold standard that cannot be emulated. It is the perfect food for your baby.
Breast milk provides antibodies and protective factors which may fight against COVID-19 should your baby be exposed.
Breastfeeding reduces the risk for premenopausal, breast and ovarian cancers.
Breastfeeding is the most natural way to feed your baby. Breast milk provides all the nutrients your baby needs for the first 6 months of life. It requires patience. However, your baby deserves the best and it's worth the effort.
Breastfeeding a baby up to 12 months improves jawbone development, thereby reducing misalignment of the teeth.
Breast milk is baby's first immunization. It protects against viruses, bacteria, and also prevents some chronic diseases.
If your child becomes sick with any illness, including COVID-19, it is very important that you continue breastfeeding.
A woman with COVID-19 should be supported to breastfeed her baby safely, hold her newborn skin to skin, and share a room with her baby.
After giving your baby only breast milk for the first 6 months of life, you can now slowly start introducing solid foods at the right textures. These include pureed vegetables, fruits, peas, and healthy cereals.
For more information, call the Nutrition Unit of the Ministry of Health and Wellness at 468-5359.
Welcome back. We join Primus Hutchinson for the NTN Nouvelle au Creole.
Merci auteur Janelle, merci mesdames, département qui nous responsabilité pour information en gouvernement cette aussi, ça c'est GIS, ça c'est télévision nationale pays NTN, qui a présenté une nouvelle en créole, présenté Primus Hutchinson. Gouvernement cette aussi très concerné maladie corona et pour ça cela j'ai implémenté protocole nouveau avec démarche pour essayer de réduire à ce manière maladie qui s'est mangée en pays. Des voyons adresse pour nation concernant la situation pandémie, Premier ministre Philippe J. expliqué que le gouvernement a des gré pèse qui maladie ça la corona a fait à ce pays là et par conséquent j'ai pris une démarche pour implémenter diverses initiatives pour assister yo qui a trouvé affecté plus mauvais. Premier ministre Pierre a annoncé que c'est officier santé et l'autre qui premier devant pour traiter et assister les gens qui ont souffert et puis corona qui recevoir plus soulagement côté yo pas qu'à payer toute auto taxe et l'autre dépense là yo acheter un loto pour aider yo vivre un travail pour faire travail ça caille aussi pour Yolande Etiama yo aussi mentionné assistance pour chauffeur l'auto passager côté gouvernement qui a soulager situation en façon financière metti kabawe aussi go kabawe à sous cela avec les restaurants et que gouvernement approuvé et travail yo qui ça rester ouvert pour bailler service pour seulement les patrons qui ont trouvé vaccinés. Pour l'hôpital Victoria, pour le ministre a dit que situation communication qui est plus meilleure pour faire possible pour les gens qui sont malades, des contacts et puis la famille et travailler à l'hôpital là même. Pour le ministre Pierre dit aussi le gouvernement qui a imposé plus de travail pour l'hôpital Victoria et qu'à présent plus de monde j'ai point dose la vaccine dans cette liste. Mais Premier ministre Pierre fait comprendre il va cailler en faveur pays en façon économique pour fermer l'opération cette liste nettement. Et c'est raison il va prendre ces démarches nouveaux ça là, mais il promet que le gouvernement a veillé la situation bien pris et comme la maladie a commencé à baisser, il va réduire petit à petit ces règles là qui sont en place pour protection monde contre maladie corona. Ministre de Santé qui est responsable pour affaires les plus grands citoyens, c'est honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste. J'ai fait un grand appel pour essayer de continuer pour suivre ce protocole-là, pour essayer d'abattre la maladie corona. Il dit, ça particulièrement comme pays a découvert 9 cas Delta variant durant cette période-là, et aussi 99 personnes sont morts en résultat de maladie corona durant cette période-là. Le ministre de la Santé a aussi plus de 45 200 et chaque monde a reçu la première dose de la vaccine et plus que 31 500 et chaque a pris une deuxième dose là. Ça c'est AstraZeneca et Pfizer. Le ministre de la Santé Jean-Baptiste qui a plaidé et public là pour prendre toutes précautions, pas seulement pour la famille, mais pour tous ces travailleurs de santé qui a placé la vie en risque tous les jours pour assister les gens qui ont maladie corona. Le ministre Moses Jean-Baptiste a déclaré que pour ces changements en protocole nouveau, business qui a de bout opération commencé vendredi le 1er octobre 2021 depuis 7h au soir pour samedi 2e octobre à 4h bon matin. Pour samedi le 2 octobre, business qui a fermé 7h au soir pour mardi le 5 à 4h bon matin. Curfew qui a commencé samedi, mais dimanche et lundi c'est pour toute journée et pour mardi à 4h bon matin. Commencé mardi le 5 octobre pour vendredi le 8 octobre, nous avons Jean-Baptiste annoncé aussi que tout business qui est fermé depuis 6h soir pour jusqu'à 4h le bon matin. Samedi le 9 octobre, business qui est fermé depuis 3h après-midi pour lundi le 11 octobre. Le ministre a annoncé que business qui est fermé depuis 6h soir pour jusqu'à 4h bon matin depuis lundi le 11 pour vendredi le 15 octobre. Avec une nouvelle qui nous a reçue là, qui a dit aussi les restaurants établissement qui a vendu manger qui est approuvé par le ministère de la Santé qui a un service pour les gens qui sont vaccinés. Ça c'est les gens qui ont toute la vaccine. Ça c'est les gens qui ont pris première dose Johnson & Johnson, deuxième dose AstraZeneca, Pfizer, BioNTech et Moderna. L'autre vaccine qui est approuvé par chef officier médical et le ministère de la Santé. Bon, toute vente alcool ça a suspendu à part dit monde qui a produit sanitizer qui a vendu sanitizer et qui a produit ça qui a fait sortir l'autre pays toute la vente supermarché supermarket station qui a vendu pétrole et supermarket il n'y a pas personne pour boire en place ça là même si place là licencié toute activité à bord l'auto, ça c'est bateau à sur la mer qui certifié, ça suspend durant ce temps curfew là. Ça c'est dimanche le 3 octobre pour lundi le 4 octobre 2021. Les autres places, ça c'est place religieuse, établissement religieuse qui a chaîne religieuse cérémonie depuis on est ça chaîne 6 pieds de distance, ça continue. Mais afin qu'on baptême, mariage, éclatement, ça n'est pour ni wegan place pour ça ni 6 pieds de distance et pas plus que 50 monde ça assister ces cérémonie ça là et tout ministère de santé et ministre de santé a même cadeau qui tout ça nécessaire pour protéger tout le monde en pays et qui a demandé tout ça pour mettre la main ensemble pour nous tout ça gagner à bout maladie ça là en pays c'est comme ça nous en tout bout nouvelle là on va mettre autant pour regarder moi avoir invitation pour venir puis moi conserver la vie dans les présenter l'autre nouvelle en créole encore tout le monde pour bonne précaution protéger la famille et gens qui auront ex-lycéens il y en a l'autre contre maladie corona te moi souhaiter tout le monde à bonne fin de semaine et obéir ces protocoles là obéir confie rester en caille avec la famille après ça on va vivre pour ça au général.
Merci Bill Primus. We now take a look at the weather.
Forecast for St. Lucia, valid for the next 24 hours. Partly cloudy skies, becoming cloudy at times, with scattered showers, which may be heavy in some areas, and isolated thunderstorms. Seas, moderate with waves 4 to 6 feet, or 1.2 to 1.8 meters. Moisture and instability ahead of an approaching tropical wave located a few hundred miles east of the Lesser Antilles will cause some cloudy periods with showers and isolated thunderstorms over our region during the forecast period. A plume of Saharan dust haze is expected to affect our region from late Saturday following the passage of this wave. Tropical storm Victor is moving towards the west-northwest near 15 miles per hour or 24 kilometers per hour. Maximum sustained winds are near 65 miles per hour or 100 kilometers per hour with higher gusts. Victor is expected to remain over the open Atlantic and poses no threat to the Lesser Antilles. Tropical cyclone formation is not expected over the tropical Atlantic during the next 5 days.
That brings us to the end of NTN Nightly. Join us next time at 7 p.m. with a repeat at 7 a.m. You can also catch up with us anytime on the St. Lucia Government Facebook page or YouTube channel. I am Janelle Norville.